Hey everyone, this is Steve from PublishPress, and in this video I'm talking about the PublishPress Authors plugin, and in particular I'm going to show you how you can use it to categorize your authors. If you have multiple authors for one post, you might have someone who's a contributor, someone that's an editor, or you might have someone that's writing the post and someone who's reviewing the post. There are all sorts of different ways in which people work together to create the posts on your site, and using PublishPress Authors, you can give each of them a valid acknowledgement. Let's see how that's done. I have a WordPress site ready to go with PublishPress Authors Pro installed. And in the left side, I can see authors and author categories. The plugin arrives with 4 different categories available: author, co-author, reviewer, and editor. And you can add your own categories if need be. For example, you might have someone who's the photographer. The singular name, photographer, plural name, photographers. And now we have an extra category that's enabled. If you see one of these categories available that you want to use, just edit it and check the Enable Category button there. Once you have your chosen categories, you can go to the post screen and you can either edit each individual post or you can use the quick edit area. And here you can add authors to the different categories. For example, you can pick an author and place them in the photographers area. You can take another and you can place them in the co-authors area. And you can drag and drop them to different locations. There we go. We have 4 different people assigned to 3 different categories on this particular post. If I click on View and see what this post looks like on the front of the site, I can scroll down and see at the bottom of the post, my 4 authors are there. At the moment, they're not categorized. They're all placed on the screen, but we need to place them into their 3 different categories. We can do that by going back to the admin area and going to Author Boxes area. By default, we're using the boxed layout, but PublishPress Authors Pro provides several author boxes which are specifically designed for categories. So let's take a look at this boxed categories option here. You can see that instead of having one single layout for each author, we have one combined layout. The main author is on the left side. They have their bio and they take up the main part of the area. And on the right side, we have the co-authors and the photographers. They get much less space on the right side of the profile. And there are several other box designs like this. If we go back to the author boxes screen, we can take a look at the 2 columns approach. This is similar. We have the author on the left, and in a list style on the right side, in a second column, we have the co-authors and photographers. There are other approaches as well. If we take a look at this particular author box, they're all laid out horizontally next to each other. Each of these layouts is customizable in its own way. Click on the author categories link on the left side, and you might want to change the inline layout to using the larger boxed layout, for example. At first look, that pushes the author into a smaller space on the left. But if you go down and change the display style from, say, flex to default, you get a vertical layout like this. We have the author at the top, then the co-authors and the photographer. Each person in this layout has equal space. It's simply that the author is lined up first. And there's also a subtle and smaller way to show the author category. If you want to use one of the original layouts, which doesn't involve the category so heavily, you can choose a layout such as boxed. And if you scroll down to the settings area, you're going to see several places where there's a Show Author Categories option. For example, next to the display name. We have the author category right next to their name. So let me save this particular layout. I'll click on the update button. I'll go to the original post that we saw here. I'll refresh it. And now we have each of the people who's contributed to this post with their particular role, and also they're ordered somewhat in terms of importance. So this is what the author categories feature can do. And it's one of the many reasons why PublishPress Authors is such a popular way to say thank you and to showcase the people who create the content for your website. If you haven't tried it yet, head over to WordPress.org and grab your free copy today.